Are you over 60 and still doing things that no longer make sense? What if I told you that after 61, some habits are actually doing more harm than good? It's true. There are things you might be holding on to that are no longer serving you, and it's time to let them go. Stick with me as we explore 5 surprising things that many seniors are still doing, even though they don't make sense anymore. You'll learn why it's time to say goodbye to these habits for a happier, healthier life after 61. Thing number 1, overworking yourself. Many of us, especially those over 61, have been conditioned to believe that the only way to succeed is to keep pushing ourselves to work harder, longer, and faster. We often find ourselves trying to keep up with the hustle mentality of our younger years, not realizing that what worked in our 30s can actually hurt us as we age. Your body changes as you get older, and what you could power through before might be taking a toll now, even if you don't feel it immediately. The reality is, as you age, it's essential to listen to what your body is telling you. While staying active is crucial for maintaining health, overworking yourself, whether it's in a job, a side project, or household chores, can lead to burnout, stress, and even physical harm. It's about finding balance. The key isn't in pushing yourself to the point of exhaustion, but in knowing when to take a break, rest, and recharge. Rest is just as important as work because it allows your body to repair itself and function at its best. Let me share the story of Mr. Thompson, a 68-year-old retired engineer I spoke with recently. For years, he kept his old routine of working long hours on home improvement projects, trying to maintain the same pace he did in his 40s. He'd spend entire weekends fixing things around the house, lifting heavy boxes, and ignoring the aches and pains in his back and joints. He thought, "I'm just staying active, keeping sharp." But eventually, the constant strain caught up with him. One day, after finishing a particularly difficult project, he woke up with intense back pain that wouldn't go away. His doctor told him that overworking and not listening to his body had put him at risk for more serious issues, like chronic pain or injury. Mr. Thompson realized that pushing himself to keep up with the past wasn't sustainable. He learned that it's okay to slow down, delegate tasks, and ask for help. These days, he focuses more on rest and enjoys his hobbies without the stress of overworking. His life is much more balanced now, and he feels better than ever. So, if you're over 61, it's time to reconsider how much you're pushing yourself. Give yourself permission to rest. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that more work equals more worth. True strength lies in knowing when to take a break and trust that, in the long run, it will help you live a healthier, happier life. Thing number 2, hanging on to old clothes. How many of us have a closet full of clothes we haven't worn in years? For many seniors, especially those over 61, it can be hard to part with items that carry sentimental value or remind us of a time when we were younger and more active. But here's the truth. Holding on to clothes from decades ago doesn't really serve you anymore. Those pants that are 2 sizes too small, the suit that's seen better days, or the dress you wore to your daughter's wedding, it's time to let go. Keeping clothes that no longer fit or serve your current lifestyle can create unnecessary clutter and even make you feel worse about your body. As we age, our needs and preferences change. Comfort and practicality become more important than ever. Clothes that were once fashionable or tight-fitting might now feel uncomfortable or simply not match the way you want to live today. There's no shame in embracing clothes that fit well, make you feel good, and support the activities you enjoy now. Instead of holding on to the past, it's time to embrace the present and find joy in the clothing that works for your life today. Let me tell you about Mrs. Carter, a 72-year-old woman who recently decided to clear out her closet after years of holding on to clothes from her younger years. She had dresses that she hadn't worn since her 50s, and a collection of blouses she used to wear to fancy dinners, clothes that no longer felt comfortable or even looked right. One day, she was getting ready for a family gathering and tried on one of her favorite dresses from her 40s. It was too tight, too uncomfortable, and just didn't feel like her anymore. She decided on the spot that it was time to donate everything that didn't fit her current lifestyle. Mrs. Carter felt liberated after that closet purge. She replaced those old outfits with soft, breathable fabrics and clothes that suited her active lifestyle. Perfect for gardening, taking walks, or just lounging comfortably at home. It wasn't about letting go of memories. It was about embracing the joy of living in the present and wearing what made her feel comfortable and confident. So, take a look in your closet. What's holding you back? Letting go of old clothes might just be the fresh start you need. Embrace comfort, embrace practicality, and most importantly, embrace the new you. Thing number 3, ignoring health signals. As we age, it's easy to dismiss certain discomforts as simply a part of getting older. A little fatigue. I'm just tired. It's normal for my age. That nagging ache in your knee. Oh, it's just arthritis. Nothing to worry about. But here's the truth. While some physical changes are natural with age, ignoring warning signs can lead to bigger health issues down the road. Our bodies have a way of sending us signals when something isn't quite right, and it's crucial that we listen to them rather than brushing them off. Fatigue, unexplained pain, dizziness, and shortness of breath aren't just the effects of aging. They could be signs of something more serious. Ignoring these signals can be dangerous. Health issues like heart disease, diabetes, and even certain types of cancer often present subtle symptoms that we might brush off. Early detection can make all the difference in treatment and recovery. Regular checkups and acting on the body's warning signs are essential for maintaining good health as we get older. It's not about being overly cautious. It's about staying proactive and taking control of your health. Let me share a story about Mr. Douglas, a 74-year-old man who had been experiencing increasing fatigue for months, but kept telling himself it was just part of aging. He was getting winded after walking up the stairs, and his legs felt weak, but he thought, "It's just the years catching up with me." One day, he was playing with his grandchildren in the park and had to sit down because he was too tired to keep going. His daughter, who had noticed his fatigue and dizziness, insisted he see a doctor. Turns out, Mr. Douglas was dealing with early-stage heart disease, which had been silently progressing. Had he continued to ignore the signs, the situation could have become much more serious. Mr. Douglas learned the hard way that ignoring health signals can lead to missed opportunities for early intervention. After following his daughter's advice and getting proper treatment, he's feeling much better now and is more active than ever. His story is a reminder that it's not just about aging. It's about paying attention to what your body is trying to tell you. Regular health checkups, staying alert to physical changes, and seeking medical advice when needed can make all the difference in enjoying a long, healthy life. So, if you're noticing signs like unusual fatigue, pain, or dizziness, don't brush them off. Act on them. Your health is too important to ignore those signals. And remember, it's never too late to take control of your well-being. Thing number 4, holding on to grudges. As we get older, many of us realize that life is too short to hold on to anger, resentment, or grudges. However, it's all too common for people over 61 to carry emotional baggage from years, sometimes decades, ago. Whether it's an argument with a sibling, a falling out with a friend, or a past betrayal, holding on to these negative emotions no longer serves us. In fact, it can harm your physical and mental health. Chronic stress from unresolved conflicts can lead to issues like high blood pressure, anxiety, and even depression. The truth is, carrying grudges affects your well-being more than you might realize, and it keeps you tethered to a past that no longer defines who you are. Letting go of grudges and practicing forgiveness doesn't mean you have to forget the past or condone hurtful behavior. It simply means freeing yourself from the emotional weight that can hold you back from finding peace and happiness. As you get older, peace of mind becomes more valuable than being right. Forgiveness allows you to release that burden and live in the present, making room for joy, love, and new experiences. Take, for example, the story of Mrs. Johnson, a 75-year-old woman who spent much of her adult life angry at her brother. Years ago, they had a disagreement over the family business, and their relationship was never the same after that. For decades, Mrs. Johnson held on to the hurt and anger, avoiding family gatherings and carrying the grudge with her everywhere she went. It affected her mood, her health, and her relationship with her children and grandchildren. One day, after a routine doctor's visit, she realized that stress was taking a toll on her health. She had trouble sleeping and her blood pressure was rising. That's when her daughter asked her, "Mom, how long are you going to let this affect your life?" That question stuck with her, and she realized it was time to let go. Mrs. Johnson decided to reach out to her brother. After a heartfelt conversation and sharing the pain they both felt, they forgave each other. The release was immediate. Mrs. Johnson felt lighter, happier, and more at peace than she had in years. She was able to enjoy her family, laugh without the weight of past conflicts, and sleep better at night. By choosing forgiveness, she unlocked the ability to live with a sense of freedom that had been missing for so long. So, if you're holding on to a grudge, ask yourself, how is it really serving you? Letting go of past hurts is not just about the other person. It's about your own peace of mind. Release the emotional baggage and make room for the happiness and freedom you deserve in your later years. Thing number 5, trying to keep up with technology. In today's fast-paced world, it can feel like technology is constantly changing, with new apps, gadgets, and updates rolling out every day. For many seniors, trying to keep up with this rapid pace of innovation can be overwhelming. You might feel pressure to stay on top of the latest trends or master every new app that comes your way. But here's the truth. You don't have to chase after every new technological advancement to live a fulfilling life. Technology should be something that enhances your day-to-day, not something that stresses you out. After 61, it's more about finding the tools that serve you and simplify your life, not about mastering every device and update. Instead of worrying about keeping up with every new app or social media platform, focus on using technology in a way that makes your life easier. Whether it's staying connected with family through video calls, organizing your schedule with a simple app, or managing your health with a digital reminder, technology can be a wonderful tool. The goal isn't to become a tech expert. It's to use what works for you to enhance your quality of life and reduce stress. Take the story of Mr. Harris, an 80-year-old man who spent months trying to learn how to use his smartphone for everything: banking, shopping, video chatting, and more. He had heard about all the convenience smartphones could offer, but after struggling to keep up with the endless notifications, new apps, and updates, he was completely frustrated. One day his granddaughter visited and noticed his frustration. "Grandpa, why are you trying to use all these apps? You don't need all that," she laughed. After a heart-to-heart chat, Mr. Harris realized that he didn't need to be a smartphone pro. He just needed it for the basics, like staying in touch with family and ordering groceries online. He simplified his phone, deleted unnecessary apps, and focused on what mattered. The relief was immediate. He was no longer overwhelmed by technology and could use his smartphone the way it was intended, to make life easier, not more complicated. Mr. Harris' story is a perfect reminder that you don't need to chase after every technological trend. Embrace the tech that works for you and don't feel pressure to master every new app. Simplifying your relationship with technology can free up time and energy for the things that truly matter, like spending time with loved ones, enjoying your hobbies, or simply relaxing. Let technology be a tool for ease, not stress. Conclusion. So there you have it. 5 things that don't make sense after 61, and how letting go of them can lead to a simpler, more fulfilling life. Remember, it's all about balance, taking care of your health, finding peace, and embracing what truly adds value to your life. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and let me know if you're ready to let go of any of these habits. If you're not sure yet, just comment 9 or 0 to show your support. Take care and see you in the next video.